Hello writers, this is a demo video showing you how to use some of the tools in Docviewer in Canvas. Docviewer is how you can leave annotations for your peers in your small group for writing workshop. So once you have accessed your peers draft, and there are instructions in Canvas for how to get to your peers papers, once you have accessed the draft, you can use the tools in the banner along the top of the page to help you leave annotations. So one thing you can do is use the zoom button to zoom in or zoom out if you want to see more of the paper on the page, or if you want to see the text more closely on the page. You can also use the double arrow to go full screen. That can really help you see more of the paper at once, and the size of it will be larger for your visual field. These icons here are all tools for leaving annotations. Annotations is a kind of fancy way to say margins in the comments. Comments in the margins of the paper. So each of these tools allows you to leave a comment in the margin, and each one works a little bit differently, but they all ultimately kind of have the same function. So the one I like to use the most is the highlighter tool. So when I click on that, it will give me a highlighter tool, and I can go into the essay, and once I use my cursor to highlight a certain portion of the paper, it will highlight for me in one of the colors identified up here. I can change the color I'm using as my highlighter tool. And then you'll see that there's a comment bubble in the margin. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to leave my comment. So I can go through the paper this way, choosing the things I want to comment on. Let's say I want to comment on the student's thesis. And you can leave as many comments as you think will be helpful to the writer. Another way to leave comments is to use the pointer tool. When I click on that, it will allow me to drop a mark somewhere in the paper. Once I drop the pointer, it will open a comment bubble for me. I can also choose to change the color of the pointer, and I can leave a comment. Another tool you have is the area annotation tool. If I want to, let's say I want to identify a fairly large area, once I click on the area annotation tool, it gives me a little crosshairs, and once I click and hold, I can draw a box around the section that I want to comment on. So I'm holding this whole time, and once I release, then it leaves the comment bubble for me. And I can leave the comment that I want to leave. Again, I can change the color of the box, so you have some options there as well. The one tool for annotations that I don't want you to use is the strikeout tool. No student should ever strike out the text for another student. So please don't use that tool in one another's drafts. I appreciate that. Any comment you leave, you can also go back. If you change your mind, you can go back and delete that comment. All you have to do is highlight it. And once it's highlighted, you can have the option to delete the comment, and it will ask if you're sure you want to do that. And then depends on whether you're doing it from the comment itself or in the essay itself. But you always have that option to go back and get rid of comments that you decide you don't want to include. So that should help you know how to use the annotation tools in Docviewer. And as you're working on these this week, if you have any questions at all, give me a shout, and I'm sure I'll be able to help you. All right, everyone, have fun.